Hi everyone, I'm Ashley. This is Cause for Creation. If you haven't seen the introduction to my channel, I will link it with this video afterwards. And I'm sorry if I sound aggressive in this video. It's something I'm very passionate about and yeah. I want to address something today that has bothered me for literal years. I'm sure you've seen the memes on social media. I see them all the time. I hope to God you are not one of them that has posted these memes. Even if you agree with them, you need enlightened, my friend. So, today we are going to talk about Suboxone facts and the myths that everyone that doesn't know what Suboxone entails, what recovery entails, we're going to talk about it, okay? I got these facts and myths from health.harvard.edu. I will link the website down in the description box. It is a credible source. Obviously, Harvard Health, I mean, it's credible. And even, aside from me getting these facts and debunked myths from a credible source, I've actually lived it. I talk about it all the time, and I have firsthand experience with addiction and recovery. I know a ton of people throughout my life that have dealt with this, and I'm sure even if you personally haven't been affected by addiction, you know a close loved one that has dealt with it and maybe has even passed away from it. I know that's kind of heavy, but this is why I want to talk about it. This is why it's important to be educated on it. So, let's get into it. Myth number one, I hear it all the time. Oh, you can abuse Suboxone. You can still get high from Suboxone. That is not true, and it's because of the chemical makeup of Suboxone. So, it is made up of buprenorphine and naloxone. And I'm quoting health.harvard.edu. Because this medication works by tightly binding to the same receptors in the brain as other opiates, heroin, morphine, oxycodone. Because it is binding to those receptors, it prevents cravings. And because it is blocking those receptors, you can't get intoxicated from it. You just can't. I remember before I full-blown got addicted, it was when I was just kind of at a party. It was just, on the weekend kind of thing. I'm not downplaying that at all because it eventually did obviously lead me to get addicted. But I remember one person at a party was like, hey, try this, and it was Suboxone. I had never heard of it. I wasn't familiar. I had no idea it was a drug that was prescribed to help people get off of opiates. And I took just the tiniest, sliver of it. And I was so sick. I vomited for hours. I wasn't responsible back then. Let's face it. I'm better, okay? Progress. My point is, if you do not have a tolerance, you are going to get sick off of Suboxone. If you do need it to help you get off of opiates, it's going to somewhat make you feel normal. You're not going to wake up in the morning and, your whole day is going to consist of trying to find money and drugs, and that's the life of an addict, okay? Alright, myth number 2. You are not in recovery or you are not clean if you are prescribed Suboxone. If you are taking the medication prescribed by your doctor, you aren't clean. You aren't in recovery. People just have so much unsolicited advice or opinions about something that they know nothing about. The bottom line is, if you have never gone through addiction, I'm sorry, you don't get to have an opinion. Quoting health.harvard.edu, to say that you aren't really in recovery if you are on Suboxone is stigmatizing to those who take it. Because of its chemical makeup, you don't get that euphoric feeling that you do with opiates. So, again, it does not get you high. The whole purpose of taking Suboxone is so that you can build a life that you aren't used to. When you're an addict, your life consists of waking up in the morning, feeling like crap, withdrawing, and then you do whatever means necessary to get money, to find drugs, and that's your day. That is your life. Speaking from my own personal experience, that was my life. I wasn't impacting, I wasn't progressing in life, I wasn't growing, I wasn't having the normal experiences that one is supposed to have after they graduate college. I was spiraling out of control. And if anything, I want to share my experiences. I know I'm probably going to get super judged for all of this by some people, but that is okay with me. Myth number 3. It is easy to overdose on Suboxone. No. False. It is extremely difficult to overdose from Suboxone alone. There is a ceiling effect, which means there's a limit to how much the opioid receptors can be activated. The only way that you are going to overdose from Suboxone is if you are combining it with benzodiazepines, aka Xanax, Klonopin, Ativan, the list goes on, but those are the most common ones. And last but not least, my friends, myth number 4. And I actually was guilty of this mindset before I really knew and started talking to counselors and doctors and psychiatrists. And the more I educated myself on it, because that's what you need to do. God, I can't stress that enough. You have got to educate yourself, whether it's addiction or not. Any sort of mental health that people are struggling with. Educate yourself. It's Google. You have information, infinite information at your fingertips. Anyway, okay, so back to myth number 4. It's so individualized. Everybody's brain chemistry is different. Everybody's experience with addiction and why they got to that point, why they feel the need to escape from their reality, because that's what addiction is, taking yourself out of your current state because you cannot deal with life. Suboxone really allows you to get back your life. You know, it takes away your cravings so you feel half normal. You still need to go to therapy because there's obviously an underlying issue, whether it's trauma or mental illness. There is a reason people get addicted and some people don't. Like, some people, they may need to be on Suboxone for the rest of their life because they have too many triggers. They have too much trauma. It's more feasible for them to be on it long term, whether that means life, whether that means 7 years. It is up to them. It is their choice. It's kind of saying, like, okay, if somebody has an anxiety disorder and they're prescribed Xanax, are you going to call them a drug addict? Are you going to call them a pillhead? No, you're not, because they need that. If someone is injured and uses Percocet as prescribed, you're not going to call them an addict. And so Suboxone is just a means to help people. It saves lives. Bottom line, I don't care how long someone is on it, it saves lives. If not, if you don't want your son, daughter, sibling, friend, if you're going to judge them for being on Suboxone, then would you rather them continue to get high and put drugs in their body where they have no idea what it's coming from, what's in it? And Suboxone is a solution. Whether it's a temporary solution for you and you are able to get your life back on track, hell yeah. And if you are one of those people that needs it long term, more power to you. Do whatever is going to help you be the best version of yourself. That's it for me. I hope you learned something. I hope you guys have a great day. Do something that you're proud of. And I will have another video for you next week. Bye.